Welcome to Teen Lead Foundation page. Today, we are going to have an interaction with a mechanical engineer, and his name is Nana Ofei. That's how I call him, but I think he will introduce himself properly. I want to welcome you all on our page on the talk on STEM careers program presented to you by Teen Leadership and Entrepreneur Development Foundation. We are really glad you joined us today for a discussion on maintenance and reliability engineering. Our main objective as a foundation is to mentor and coach teenagers to achieve their career goals. So today, I hope this discussion will be impactful to all of us and we all will learn something from it. Nana Ofei, you are welcome.
Hey, Tina, thank you. Thanks for having me. That was a wonderful introduction. And this platform is really a very important platform. It's rare you don't have everybody coming in, so I don't know. The stars were all aligned for me today, so really excited to be here. Hoping for a great discussion.
Thank you. So could you please tell us a little about yourself, where you come from, and how you got to where you are now?
Sure. And by the way, I just want to say good evening or good morning to everyone, wherever you are. My name is Nana Ofei Bekoe, and I'm a mechanical engineer, as you rightly said. I grew up in Ghana, West Africa, Accra to be precise. And I went to all the good schools you can think of. I went to Accra Academy, which is a very good school everybody should go to, especially if you're a guy. And went on to University of Ghana, and I think we'll talk about that later. But I have 4 siblings. I'm the oldest, and I have a beautiful sister and 3 other young brothers. And I enjoy what I do as a mechanical engineer. I'm married with a son, so I'm enjoying everything that life brings right now.
Great. Thank you for this nice introduction. So you've already told us about your education and about your family. So can you tell us a bit about your first degree? Because from what we know, your first degree was in food and nutrition, right?
Correct. Yes, you're right. So this goes way back in 2008 when just like the system in Ghana is, whenever you graduate from high school, you go into tertiary schools. And for me, I wanted to become a medical doctor, so I chose University of Ghana to pursue biological science. I also applied to KNUST for for other engineering programs like petroleum, computer, mechanical, and the likes. But I was more geared towards biological science. So I did biological science in level 100. And I think I remember we were like 1,200 in class. And from level 100, when you're able to pass your exams and you're successful with an interview, you go to medical school. So some of us had to come back to do biological science level 200. And so I was part of those crew. And I went back and studied you have to major in something while you're there in the 4-year program in University of Ghana. So I did nutrition and food science. And I know there's a lot of people think, me for once, choosing that program, I thought it was more female, it's a female dominated field, it's more female oriented, but the feminine oriented. But when I got into that field, I realized that wow, there's a lot more to do. So my first degree was in nutrition and food science. I enjoyed my stay there. It challenged me to learn a lot, to to explore other areas. It spiked something in me. Um, um, the research attribute that comes with that program was really very helpful. And I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I went through that program. It's more of biochemistry and more of the science in food science. Is the more of the science in food. It's a lot of work. It's a pure science program and it's a lot of work. So
Okay.
I can go
Yeah,
I can
thank
go
you.
on and on, but I'll let you run the boat.
Thank you very much for this explanation, because I know some people out there may think food and nutrition is just like the home econs that we do back in senior high school. But thank you for that explanation. Thank you for giving us that insight, letting us know that that is not how it is. It's more of food processing. And so, in your class, was it male dominated or female dominated? How was it like?
This is kind of tricky because it was almost like a balance. It was almost like a balance because it was like the second or maybe the next hot program to pursue in the Faculty of Science. So it was all the brilliant minds were trying to get their way into the nutrition food science, and we knew of people who are doing great after school and who were, you know, who had themselves in great positions in big companies like Nestle, Unilever, Food and Drugs Board, Ghana Standard Board, and well, like we want to be like them. So there was there was a lot of competition getting into that program. So it was almost like a balance. Yes.
That is really great. Good to know that.
Yep.
So, I think our viewers out there, we've gotten something from what we are really going to focus on today. That's mechanical engineering, but at least we've gotten to know about food and nutrition, which is really good. And if anyone is out there and wants to pursue food and nutrition, I think you've gotten a good idea from what our guest has given us today. So we'll move on to mechanical engineering, which is your current profession. So, what made you make the decision to go into mechanical engineering?
Okay. So this is interesting. You know, I've not always been the the guy who knows what to do at one point in time. Because even I started off as a business student. This will come as a surprise. Yes.
Wow.
So when I went to Accra Academy for my first semester, I was in a business class. But I realized that I the definition for economics was so much to to memorize because you have economics defined by this guy, by this guy, by that guy. So I'm like, this is not doing it for me. So I switched to science. And before then, I know I most of my friends wanted to become chartered accountants. So I'm like, I want to be a chartered accountant. And the friend who wanted to become a chartered accountant said no, he wanted to be a pharmacist. I said I also want to be a pharmacist. So and at some point I'm like, I want to be a civil engineer. So it keeps changing. And it was like, it's just like for every other young guy or young girl out there, we keep having, there's some who know exactly what to do, but there's some who keep, switching from one profession to the other till they finally find it. So I had to go through all of those stages. So in 2012, when I graduated from University of Ghana, I moved to the United States. Okay, so of course, I wanted to do something that would set me aside and something that fits my capabilities, something that fits my interests, and something that will also be rewarding, you know. So, I mean, I had to go through all the different programs and see what I like, what I don't like, what I like, what I don't like, and talking to a few people. here and there. I ran into one mechanical engineer, and I saw the car he drove and the way he carried himself. I'm like, this is something interesting. This Tell me what you do and how is mechanical engineering like in the United States. And from there, I think the conversation got more interesting. And I'm like, wow, why don't I do this? I picked up, well, you have to do a lot of research. So I did a lot of research, you know, picked up the courses and looked through them, see, this interesting, does this sound interesting, did all of that and finally decided to do that. And why not? It's a 4-year program. You're able to change the world. You're able to impact the world in a positive way. And you don't have to memorize a lot of, definitions and all of that. And it's something that came to me. So maybe mechanical engineering found me, or maybe I found mechanical engineering, whichever way. We had a good relationship there. So I started in Lincoln University as a pre-engineering student, and the rest is history. It's been great so far.
Okay, so you started as a pre-engineering student, uh, because you didn't have an engineering background for your bachelor's degree. Is that
Correct.
what it was? Okay. So viewers out there, if you have any degree that is not related to engineering, or specifically on the topic we are talking about today, you should also think of going to take pre-engineering classes to be able to get into an engineering degree. It may depend on the school, but from his school, I think that is what he was supposed to do. Okay, thank you very much for that explanation. So how about the reliability and maintenance engineer? So you are a mechanical engineer by profession, and you are into maintenance and reliability engineering. Can you please differentiate that for us?
So yes, sure. So Tina, mechanical engineering is a big field. It's broad. There's a lot of areas in there. You have HVAC, you have manufacturing, you have design, you have research. You can go on and on. It's broad. It's broad. There's material science in there. It is broad. But throughout the courses, my interest was more in manufacturing. Why? Because maybe the instructor was very good and I got very good grades in there. So my interest was even more heightened to pursue that. And when I graduated, I was looking for a job. Looking at the job descriptions there, maintenance and reliability engineering seems to be something that fit my personality and what I know. The knowledge base then it quite fits that role. So maintenance and reliability engineering, it's not a new field. It's sort of overlap mechanical engineering and industrial engineering. There's also industrial engineering. Okay, so there are different forms of it. There's chemical, there's petroleum, there's nuclear, there's mechanical, there's industrial, there's biomedical, bioengineering, there's agricultural. You know, all these various engineering disciplines somehow overlap in some way. Okay, so mechanical engineering overlap in some way with industrial engineering. And in industrial engineering, reliability engineering will fall under systems engineering. So what I found myself doing was more of the application of all my knowledge in the mechanical engineering field, and also learning on the job some aspects of industrial engineering principles, okay, to be able to perform my job. So mechanical engineering is different from reliability and maintenance engineering. I would say it's more of a subset. It's more of a subset in there. When it's not a whole big broad discipline on its own. It's a subset in there. that is when you are kind of specializing in one aspect of the engineering discipline.
Thank you. So let's go back to your school days with that of mechanical engineering in school. How was it like? Was it male dominated or female dominated?
Oh, I'm surprised you're asking me this, Tina. You've been in this field. For years, it's been male dominated. We are trying to get all our fine ladies to join. We're trying to get all our ladies to join. It's been male dominated, and it's sad. It's sad. We want more feminine. We want more females joining. It's not something that only guys can do. It's something that everybody can do. I think it's more of the mindset. Just like you thought nutrition or food sciences should be more feminine. It's more of the mindset. Mechanical engineering, it's engineering, and it's everybody is qualified to do it if you're passionate about it. So yeah, my schooling days, it was, oh boy, it was more males, and eventually we started seeing more females, and which is why this program is very important, because we're sending the message out there to catch the attention of our young girls also to to come into this field. Of course, you're a good role model, so people watching there should take a cue from that.
Thank you for that, and thank you for the compliment.
Of course.
So back in school, was there anything that you would have done differently? How was your lifestyle? Was it more of studying, and like how were you able to get through this? Because people start and then they stop. So how were you able to get through this?
Wow, it's a struggle, and don't, I almost had to throw in the towel at some point. I almost decided to do that because it was a struggle. When you study all these pure science classes like calculus, differential equations, statics, dynamics, and all those classes, strength of materials. Oh man, and it's like you seeing drawings, free body diagrams, numbers flying over there. You don't know what this is. This is lambda. This is zeta. This is this. It can be very daunting. And me coming from the biological field, those things were very daunting. So at some point, I thought a good thing was to throw in the towel. But what keeps me going? Well, I mean, I for some reason something kept me going, and I'll just say it's just by the mercies of God. But I I'm somebody who never touches something and backs out. So when I touch something, I want to see it to completion. So it was more of determination, being determined to get through it, and seeking help when you need to. You don't just hide yourself in a corner and try to be the hero of your own world. Try to ask for help, and I think it's just good to ask for help when you need it. So I was just determined to get through it. I was just determined to get through it, and I wasn't the only person struggling also. So you could say seeing another person having the same issue as you even gave you some consolation, like, oh well, maybe we can get through this together. And I was always looking for avenues to be have to be to let me how do I put it, to be a better version of myself. I was always looking for avenues to better myself. So going for um what we call, um I think we call that, it was more of like a special class, tutorials, I can't remember the name exactly, but it was more like instructor, like your professor will kind of set up a time for you to come visit him in office hours. That's the word. I was using the office hours a lot, a lot. a lot. So
Thank you
that's
for that. Thank you very much for that. So, let us move to your profession quickly. But viewers out there, if you just joined us, this is Teen Leadership and Entrepreneur Development Foundation. Today on our Talk on STEM Careers program, we have our guest Nana Ofei, and he's a maintenance and reliability engineer. And the topic today is about maintenance and reliability engineer. We are trying to get to know our guest, and then we'll zoom in into his profession, what maintenance and reliability engineering is really about. So from what you just said, with the mechanical engineering, how you went through it, is there any advice you would like to give anyone out there who is thinking of picking up the mechanical engineering profession, or he or she wants to go and pursue the mechanical engineering degree? What advice will you give to the person? A quick one so that we get to your profession.
Yes, it's doable. It's just doable. Keep your mind to it. Be passionate about it. You can do it. You need a lot of practice. So practice, practice, practice. You can do it. Be passionate about it.
Thank you for that. You can do it, be passionate about it. So, with that, as upcoming young ones or teenagers or someone out there who even already has a degree, do you think mentorship is really important in this day, in this time, or in this era?
You know, Tina, to be good at something, you really need some coaching. To be really good at something, you really need a lot of coaching. And yes, I had coaches along the line. I had coaches. My instructor, my dad was one of my biggest, mentors. He has a background in civil engineering, so I will always fall back on him on a few things. But my instructors were good mentors. So you need that, or maybe somebody who is maybe a year ahead of you could be a mentor if you have that relationship with that person. You could always go to him and say, how you doing this? How you doing that? These are my, weak areas. How do I get through that? Always seek for help when you need it. So coaching is very important.
So, on the mechanical engineering degree, is there any of the courses that you took that were really interesting to you? What are some of the courses that were really interesting to you?
Oh, there's a course called ceramic processing. It was more on the manufacturing. So that was really interesting. Why? The instructor was very good at it, and it was an easy A, so that was something that I really enjoyed. And it wasn't like a normal class where you're always required to take exams and the likes, because taking exams could become very daunting. But he made the class very lively, more of like the real life, you know, making it more like a real world, experience. So you go in there, he has, practical problems for you to solve. You work in groups. It was very interactive, and so I really like that program. And so yeah, manufacturing. I don't know if the maybe the mechanical engineering program in Kenya is still UMAT or any other university in Ghana is stuff like that. I don't know the course structure, but for what I did here, it was an elective you can pick. So it was ceramic processing. It was more of the manufacturing classes.
Thank you for that. So, about your profession, your first degree was in food and nutrition. Did you work with that, or the mechanical engineering degree is the only degree that you've been working with in your
Uh,
profession?
Unfortunately, I have not been very professional with my nutrition and food science degree. It was almost like an instant switch. So right after I graduated from University of Ghana, I relocated. So I've not done any professional work with that. I've mostly done work with my mechanical engineering degree.
Okay, and with the mechanical engineering Was it only for reliability engineering, or you've taken other positions that you've worked with your degree?
Well, I've been a continuous improvement engineer, which some sort of has some links with reliability engineering because you pretty much have the same aim. So it's a different job description, different job title, but basically doing the same thing. So I've been a continuous improvement person also.
Yeah, I love the continuous improvement aspect. I really love it. Someone out there might not know what that one is, so like a quick explanation would really help us all.
For every product, you always want to have the best version of that product. So you continuously find strategies or find ways to improve it. So in a nutshell, it's trying to eliminate waste and have a better um, procedure or process to have that product, made. So you're looking at more of the improving the quality of it. You're looking at more of improving the quality in their processes, involved with that. And it's something that all the big companies are really employing, like Toyota, like Honeywell, Boeing. All these companies out there are employing, continuous improvement experts to help them improve their products and their processes.
That is great and good to know about that. We are learning a lot today, apart from our main topic, but we are really learning a lot today. And so, your current profession is mechanical engineering, but really you are into reliability and
Main.
maintenance, right? So, what is that one about? But before you answer this question, someone just asked the question, and I think it's better you answer that one before we move on.
Okay.
So, it's from Cyril Kabna. It says, how long is the pre-engineering program, and which institutions can this program be taken at? So, if you have any idea, apart from your school, if there are any other schools that also offer this pre-engineering programs, and then how long does it take to complete that one?
Okay. Typically, a pre-engineering program is a year or two, depending on the institution. I don't know if you're in Ghana, we don't usually have that system. To become an engineer, you probably have to go to high school and pursue science program. Then you apply to the university, or maybe go to a polytechnic, and then you can do a top up in a university. But in other countries, they have pre-engineering, so it's more of to prepare you. It's more of like taking prerequisites to the actual engineering program. So that's where you do all the calculus, your algebra, your differential equations. But typically it's like a year and a half. But for me, I did not even do the entire 2 years. When I did all the major courses I needed, I transferred. So you don't have to finish up the whole program in a pre-engineering, program. If you have an advisor, he will probably guide you through it. All you need to do is take the main prerequisite courses and transfer them over to a bigger school. You know.
So, in general, what do maintenance and reliability engineers do, and where can we find them?
Thank you for that question, Tina. Maintenance and reliability engineers are all over the place. They are everywhere. Everywhere there's a moving machine, everywhere there's moving parts, everywhere that there's manufacturing going on, any engineering field, you most likely see a reliability or maintenance and reliability engineer there. Once maintenance has to deal with uh, you fixing, a machine part that is broken right away, and the reliability aspect of it deals with you trying to predict failure before they happen, or keeping the equipment running without failing. So the maintenance aspect has to do with you getting on the equipment right away and fixing it. So it's more of real time. You're actively fixing the equipment. You provide the technical support and to help fix the problem. But reliability has to do with having predictive or preventive measures and system in place to prevent an equipment from failing. You want, because most plants, actively depend on the equipment to run, and that's how they make their production. That's how they make profits. So you are hired there to keep the equipment running. It's just like the human body. When you're sick, you maintain it. You go to hospital, you are prescribed medication. But there's also that aspect where you even take certain supplements. You even get some checkups even before you get sick, so you know that this or that is probably about to happen, and you prepare for it. So it's more of that, just in a nutshell. I don't know what else what other questions you have for me, but I can go more into details as we go on.
So now to you personally, can you tell us about your company, the company you work with, and how your daily routine is, what you do at work?
Okay, interesting. I work with a cement plant. So cement plant, just like Gasm or any other. I know there are big cement plants in Takoradi and stuff. I work with a cement plant, and it's a big plant. It's a big plant. So what I do there is to maintain and also ensure that the equipment are reliable, because you have thousands of equipment in different sizes, big and small. Some could be as small as, maybe just a tiny bitty pump. So you have big sizes to small sizes, medium sizes. And my job is to maintain it and also make it reliable. Make it reliable means when we start it to run, it has to run. Just like your car. When you start your car, you want it to see it turn on and and run. So my job is to keep equipment running. And it's very interesting. I just enjoy it. It's very challenging. It's not boring. There's things coming up every single day you have to deal with. So it's very versatile, and I enjoy doing that.
Thank you for that. So, if you just joined us, this is Teen Leadership and Entrepreneur Development Foundation. I'm your host, Augustina Osabute, and today our guest is Nana Ofei, and he's a mechanical engineer and a reliability engineer by profession. And we are talking about maintenance and reliability engineering. We've had some interesting insight into his field, and I think there is more to come from what I'm seeing. I'm enjoying this discussion, and I hope you are also enjoying it. So, if you just joined us, please, if you have any questions, if you're on Zoom, please just raise your hands and I will call you to ask your question. If you're on Facebook, please put your type your question in our comment box and your question will be answered. We also have our YouTube channel, Teen Leadership and Entrepreneur Development Foundation, Teen Lead for short. So just go to our YouTube channel and then watch our videos. We've had a lot of discussions on about 4 STEM careers, civil and structural engineering. We also had a discussion last week with an immunologist. So I know that all these discussions will be very interesting for you to learn from. And please, our main focus here is for these videos or this discussion to get to our young ones out there to help them be able to make decisions on which careers they want. So please don't watch it alone. If you are watching, just call your son or your daughter, or you can even gather the children at home so that they can join you to watch and understand what we are really about. Thank you. We are going to move on, Nana.
Okay, let's do it.
So, what do you think about reliability engineering in some years to come, like about 10 years to come? How is it going to be like? Is it going to be something that people will still be interested? Because sometimes we get robots and stuff being built, and people think, oh, these robots are going to take our jobs away. But is it going to affect reliability engineering or reliability and maintenance engineering? What do you think about that one?
Well, if it's going to affect reliability engineering, it's probably in a good way. Okay, because engineering is very dynamic, and reliability engineering, for that matter, is very dynamic. And why do I say that? Because there are jobs that, um, like you rightly said, fade out because you have robots performing that role. But for this one, you need the human factor to make decisions. Like, how do you eliminate, you know, losses or waste? How do you determine the life cycle of an equipment? All of this. How do you, determine the failure modes? How do you decide or predict how this is going to? You need human interpretation. So in the next 10 years, we want technology to actually improve the field of reliability engineering. And we see that happening. In the past, reliability engineers will probably walk by, a piece of maybe a gearbox or an engine, and just by putting a hand on it, feeling the temperature, they can tell that this is just maybe about to fail, or they can just by hearing the sound of it. But now we've gone past that stage. We now use sensors, to predict and to tell all several factors of the life of that piece of equipment. So I think this is not one of the fields that will fade out in the next 10 years. Technology is always on our side, helping us, making us better engineers. So if anything at all, a mechanical engineer or a reliability engineer would probably design a robot to help that process. So don't be scared going to that field. It's very dynamic, and there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do there.
Thank you very much. So these robots are not going to take our jobs away. We should know that. They are actually helping us in our technological world. So where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years in this field? Are you going to leave this field, or like what are you going to do?
Well, so like I said, I'm very passionate about this field, and I've been in this field for only 2 years. So there's a huge learning curve, and there's a lot to learn. I have people that I'm learning from, so I'm still going to be in this field. And to be good at something, just like Malcolm Gladwell said, you need to have 10,000 hours of practice. Well, that is probably equivalent to 10 years. So I need a lot of practice. So I'm really going to keep myself practicing so I become very good at what I do. And I want to also have my professional engineering license. So that's a PE. And also get certifications in reliability engineering. I I think I'm in for the long haul. It's very broad, it's very challenging, and I like challenges too. So it's good. It's good. It's fun stuff.
That is interesting. We are learning a lot here today. So what has been your greatest achievement so far in the field of maintenance and reliability engineering?
So I would say that I've been able to reduce the number of failures on our plants because, for example, we have conveyor belts, and if my audience are aware of that, I can explain that quickly. In a cement plant, you have to move materials from one point to the other. You need conveyor belts. So conveyor belts are used in other fields, in food industries and other areas. But this is something that keeps failing, and it keeps failing because there's poor maintenance, and a lot of people don't pay attention to that. So in my company, I've been able to reduce the failure of that from 90% to 40%. So we don't have we have more reliability, but reliability has jumped from um, say 90% to 93%. So that is a great achievement. Before that, we had to change belts frequently. We're changing belts frequently. You know, but my involvement in that is, we work as a team. I mean, for what I do, I don't do that alone. I work as a team. So you get a team of experts together, you put your minds together, you work actively, you research, you find the latest technology out there to improve your system, and you also follow up with the installation, make sure we're doing the right thing at the right time. And all of this has contributed to that.
Great. So we are going to move on very soon to STEM in general, but someone asked a question. It's from Simon here on Zoom. He says, Nana Ofei, I noticed all you are saying is in relation to a mechanical engineering career in the United States. And obviously, per your submission, it is an interesting career you are pursuing. In contrast to the situation back home in Ghana, where many are almost losing hope in pursuing careers in mechanical engineering due to the obvious reasons, of which one is the inability to find jobs after school. My question is, can you share with us ways that mechanical engineering graduates in such situations as mentioned above can make the best out of the knowledge gained from school? That is a lot.
That is a very interesting question. I didn't expect that coming, but I like that. There's something that has always driven me, and this is something I heard from somebody. It says you are where you are because of what you know, okay? And what is keeping you from moving, okay, moving forward is what you don't know. You are where you are because of what you know and the decisions you've made. But what is keeping you from moving forward is what you don't know. I think mechanical engineering field is a great field. It's a very interesting field, and it's more of an entrepreneurial field. It gives you all the tools to make the best out of nothing or anything. So there's a lot of research out there. There's a lot of information out there. Let us get them. In Ghana, I know that the situation is different, especially with this COVID. Most jobs are probably shut down and they're probably not hiring. But I also think that I'm going to tackle this in two ways. We should also spread our wings wide. Most of us want to work in the power field or in the energy field, and we're not looking into all these industries like Nestle, like Gasem, you know, like all these manufacturing fields. Most of us are not looking there. So there might be job openings there. There might be job openings there. They probably have a lot of vacancies, and and sometimes you have to start from somewhere. Okay, sometimes because we have an engineering degree, we want to start from right there, hitting it big, which is good. But if you have to get inside that company just to make progress, do that. Also, mechanical engineering field gives you a lot of tools to start your own business. And of course, this doesn't cut across for everyone because you need a lot of capital to do that. But you should be motivated to do something for yourself. I mean, this COVID season, you heard of a young guy who came up with a good way to, a sink, or I think a hand washing device. People are thinking outside the box, and necessity is a matter of invention. Whenever you see a need, try to come up with a solution for it, and that will be an invention. Most jobs are created out of need. Most jobs are, I mean, discovery of electricity, lights, and all those, and they came out of necessity. So we have to keep the fire burning. We have to keep searching. For job search, you definitely need to apply to more than one. Somebody wants to get into maybe um, VRA, and that's all he wants. He's not going to apply to Gasem or Unilever or Nestle or this or that. You have to spread your wings, and sometimes we have to update our resumes. We have to update it. Take internships, apply for internships. You just have to start from somewhere. You just have to start. This is I don't think I'll be able to do justice to his question with the time limit we have, but it's a whole different discussion that we need to have.
Thank you for that. So one of my classmates, right after school, he didn't apply for any jobs. No, he opened his own shop, and now he's working as a mechanical engineer. He has his own shop in Ghana. He works on every electrical appliances that comes to his way. He will find a way to fix it. So like he makes use of YouTube and everything. Like he's in Accra and he's making it. He didn't bother himself to even apply for a job. So if you're out there in Ghana, sometimes it's not all about applying for jobs. Sometimes you have it in you. You can also do something about it. You start from somewhere. If you are not getting a job, like the ones you apply to are not taking you, you sit down and think about it. There is something in you that you can do. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
I think people don't want us to move from mechanical and engineering at all. The questions are coming in. Here on Zoom, a question here says that please, I know reliability engineering use some softwares. Is it possible to just study those softwares and forgo a full degree in order to master the field? Yeah, she doesn't want her name mentioned, so.
Okay, so for softwares currently, I think there are very good softwares out there you can use, but to actually for somebody to hire you, you have to have that educational background. You have to have that um, ABET, ABET. I mean, for example, in the United States, you need to have the ABET, accreditation to work in the field like that. So I don't know for Ghana. I mean, I think once you're a mechanical engineer, and you have that training. I mean, for me, for instance, I was not trained to become a reliability engineer. I didn't go for a course like that. It's something I'm learning on the job. You get it? And so I have the chance to use all of these, tools like root cause failure analysis, FMEA, and all of those things. So if trying to, you can become a reliability engineer by learning those softwares, but also having that background in engineering. It really helps. So if I know that's what I want to stand on as my answer to that. That is definitely very good to know those softwares. Trust me.
So as we all know, the mechanical engineering field is male dominated. What advice will you give to a young girl out there who wants to go into the field of mechanical engineering?
Young girls out there, trust me, the field is not difficult as we see it from afar. You know, I remember growing up when I see somebody wearing spectacles, I'm like, hey, this person is smart. You know, it's just a perception that you have. Like wearing the spectacles gives you that edge, you know, gives you that upper hand, you know. And we see a lot of guys doing it. Doesn't mean that you cannot do it. Doesn't mean that it's supposed to be that way. You know, we've seen ladies always breaking the status quo, you know, and get making it, or even doing it better than what guys are doing. You know, just look at um these black ladies in NASA. I mean, these were people who had to break all the perception about being a person of color and also being a female. So it's all in your thinking. It's you have to know that you can do it if you keep your mind to it. You can do it if you keep your mind. Nothing should back you out. Nothing should bring you down. You are capable of doing whatever you keep your mind to. So
So thank you for that. We'll just zoom into the STEM field in general. So what is your view on the field of STEM, its challenges and opportunities for young people out there?
if I had my way of influencing everybody, I would say everybody should pursue STEM. STEM is a great field. For me, for instance, I started as a business student, right? But I switched over to STEM field just because of the plethora of opportunities there. You know, when you move to the sciences, it's not just science, it's science, technology, you know, engineering, you know, mathematics. So there are a lot of opportunities out there. There are a lot of things that you can do. In sciences, you can branch into nursing, you can branch into nutrition, you can branch into, you know, become a dietetics, become a medical laboratory technician, you know, technology, you can move into IT, you can become a computer scientist, engineering, you have all the civil, mechanical, biomedical, in mathematics, you can be a math professor, which we need more of that because we don't really have good math professors in our days. So it's really a broad field, and it's very interesting. And now you have technology, you have the YouTube, you have all the internet, you know, facilities helping you to understand all the difficult, you know, subjects in the STEM. So don't be scared or afraid of it. It's something that we all should, if only you have the interest or passion about it, you should pursue. I'm not discounting the arts or the other, social arts or all the other service, all the other programs, but STEM is something that has been, you know, hasn't gained that attention that we need. So we want people to see it that way.
Thank you for that. So what personal characteristics do you feel are necessary for a person or a young adult to have to be successful in the mechanical engineering field, or to be successful to gain a mechanical engineering degree?
Well, you have to be hardworking. It's a field that requires you to, work hard. It's a field that requires you to always solving, questions. So you need to be somebody who is disciplined and be disciplined to, you know, to work hard. So you need to be hardworking, you need to be disciplined, you need to be passionate, because you have to be passionate about what you're doing. And if you take it as though you're just doing it for the grade, at the end of the day, you not have that satisfaction you need. So you have to have some passion. You have to have that drive, some sort of drive to pursue that field. So if you are passionate, if you are hardworking, you are disciplined, you have to be somebody who is very conscious of time management, because you need a lot of time to work on all these problems or all these homeworks and assignments. And you have to be somebody who is very, I want to say, inquisitive, or maybe someone who is very curious, somebody who is adventurous in a way, trying to see what is out there, always trying to learn more. You have to be somebody who wants to learn, because there's always something new coming up, and you always have to be updated with information.
Thank you very much. You have to be hardworking. You have to have the desire to learn more if you want to go into mechanical engineering, or if you want to be successful in getting a degree in mechanical engineering. So our next question is, how can students utilize the technology available to them for a good output? So we have Facebook, we have YouTube, Instagram, but I think our young ones do not even know that Facebook has groups. Like on Facebook, you get pages that we have a mechanical engineering page on Facebook, from what I know. So people do not know about that. So what will you tell them? How can they utilize all these technologies available to them?
Tina, in this current generation, in this our current world, you can become anything you want. Okay, why? Because the information are out there. The information is out there on YouTube. There's a lot of channels. For instance, whenever I don't understand anything in class, I go back on YouTube, Google it, and it's right there. You know, take my time, listen to it, repeat it, stop it, pause it, repeat it again. So the informations are out there. Just don't. You have to be disciplined. Just don't be. Just make sure that you stick to what you want to watch and learn, because there are a lot of things that will pop up that might straight sway you from what you are looking for, and then you might end up watching a movie at the end of the day. So you have to use the technology wisely, and it's out there for to help us. All the like you said, Facebook, you have all the mechanical engineering groups there. Even on Twitter, you know, Instagram, you see maybe a forum for all of these programs or courses. So they're out there. They're out there. If once you have a computer, you have internet access, you should be able to learn something.
Thank you very much. We are almost ending our discussion today. And if you just joined us, my name is Augustina Sabute. I am a team member in Teen Leadership and Entrepreneur Development Foundation. And today we are discussing maintenance and reliability engineering on our talk on STEM careers program. And we have here Nana Ofei, who is a mechanical engineer and a maintenance reliability engineer. So my next question is, for young people out there, how can we position ourselves strategically for the next 10 to 20 years if you want to have a career in your profession? That is maintenance and reliability engineering, or in any profession too.
The number one thing about becoming successful is having the desire. You have to be passionate. I think I've said the word passionate like a million times in this conversation. You have to be there has to be some inner drive, to pursue what you want to do. And also you also have to be somebody who wants to learn. So how do you position yourself? Try to learn from the guys ahead of you, from seniors, or from people ahead of you. You have to have that learning ability. You have to be somebody who is teachable. So you learn, you read wide. There's a lot of books I read, and I mean, I can't overemphasize that you have to read wide. Most times people want to quickly have the answers, but they don't want to know how the answers came about. and all these answers are written down. You can travel all over the world at a sitting by reading a book. So reading is a powerful tool. So read wide, invest in reading, invest in technologies or programs that will help you. I mean, try to always study higher courses. Okay, to be successful, you always have to be a better version of yourself. That is excellence. Trying to always be a better version of yourself. So that is how you do it. Keep learning and always, try to work with people. Be a team player. Try to work with people because you never know what the other guy knows. And don't isolate yourself. Open up to people and work as a team. Try to get yourself involved with other societies. Like there are a lot of societies out there. Like I know Ghana, we have mechanical engineering societies. Be a part of them. Join their meetings. You learn a thing or two. You meet people who will introduce you to other people and who introduce you to other positions or other opportunities out there. And that's how you become successful.
Okay, thank you very much. We are really getting a lot from this discussion today. And so for our last and final questions, before that, please, if you are here on Zoom with us, keep your questions coming. And on Facebook, please type your questions in the comment box, and our guest speaker will do justice to it for you. So what advice do you have for viewers listening now who are yet to decide or deciding about their future, especially the young ones?
So for a young person, I would say um, have a good coach or a mentor. Have somebody who would guide you through this journey, because making decisions is very crucial to where you have to be, and you get to where you are because of decisions you make. Okay, and decisions you make today is what is going to determine what your future is. So make sure you have a good mentor. If you have questions, find somebody who knows more about it and ask. Peer pressure has been something that has led a lot of people into very destructive avenues. So you always want to have a good mentor, and you should also do a lot of research on your own. Just like being a part of this team foundation in discussion. You that's how you get information. Seek information out there.
So, if anyone wants to contact you or even want to work with you in future, how can they get a hold of you? If any of the younger ones out there get a hold of this video, watches, and he or she is interested in pursuing mechanical engineering, wants you to be their mentor, how can they contact you?
Professionally, I have a an account with LinkedIn, so you can always reach me there. You search for my name, my full name, Nana Ofei Bekoe. You should be able to find me and send me a message. And I'm very good in responding to messages, so I will quickly respond and we can start a conversation from there.
Thank you very much, Nana Ofei, for joining us today and for this interesting discussion. And so I'll just mention some things that I took from this discussion, and I think it will be helpful to us all. So maintenance and reliability engineering is a subset of mechanical engineering. And to the young ones out there or to anyone out there, if you really want to achieve your career goals, if you want to be a mechanical engineer, you should be passionate and disciplined about what you do. You should love to read wide. That should be a part of you everywhere you find yourself. You have to find mentors and seek help whenever needed. So this is Teen Leadership and Entrepreneur Development Foundation. My name is Augustina Osabute. Thank you all for joining us today. And we have our social media handles on Facebook, Teen Leadership and Entrepreneur Development Foundation. Please like our page and follow us for more programs and more interesting insights into the STEM careers. Also, we are on LinkedIn, Teen Leadership and Entrepreneur Development Foundation, Teen Lead Foundation. Please follow us on LinkedIn for updates on our programs. And lastly, we have our YouTube channel, Teen Lead Foundation. Please get to our YouTube channel and like our videos, share it to the young ones out there, let it get to them, and also subscribe to our channel. Nana Ofei, what is your last remarks for this interesting discussion? I'm not happy it's ending, but for time's sake, we really have to end this one. So
All right, so quickly, I said I think I stressed on reading wide. I've got a few books I want to recommend right here. So, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's a book I'm reading now. It's quite a thick book, but I'll go through it. And Fix It. It's also a very good book. So I recommend that everybody interested in the STEM or careers in STEM and any other field related to that should read wide. And these are the 2 books I'm recommending. So I kind of emphasize the reading.
thank you very much, and thank you for joining us today and giving us this insightful message today. And I'm your host, Augustina Sabute. I was joined today on the Talk on STEM Careers presented to you by Teen Leadership and Entrepreneur Development Foundation. I was joined by Nana Ofei, who is a maintenance and reliability engineer, and we talked about maintenance and reliability engineering. Thank you and see you next time.